Hi, what's happening? It's Bill Smith. Before I get started, I just want to point out that there is a trend of adults who make child TV shows or cartoons involved in child pornography. So this is a guy who was an animator on the My Little Pony cartoon. He was caught with over 60,000 child porn images. And he said that it helped him with his depression. He was no longer depressed after consuming. He said he had been desensitized to normal porn and needed something more. He went on to explain that it had been helpful in helping him deal with his clinical depression and other unspecified medical issues. There's always a reason, you know what I'm saying? So look, the new thing that has been ultra damaging to the media, I've said this before, I said it yesterday, it's the Pedogate stuff. So we got Pizzagate popped off and then they killed it, right? And right around that time we got Me Too. Every time we get close to something, they find a way to change the media cycle or keep it from going mainstream. So I want to point out that QAnon only went mainstream because of videos about Tom Hanks and Steven Spielberg. That's the only reason. QAnon did not go mainstream because of the board posts. It went mainstream for something totally unrelated. Totally. Steven Spielberg and Tom Hanks were the linchpins that pulled QAnon into the mainstream. So I think that the pedophile stuff is the weak link in all of this. And enough public eyes on this stuff, you're going to see the mainstream media begin squirming. So I'm going to show you how that's going to work right now. Worth pointing out, though, real quick, is that Media Matters is not our friend. They're a terrible organization, and they've already picked up on this. So Isaac Kappy, you've probably heard of him already, and Nathan Stropland, who runs the channel called Lift the Veil, they have been, they talk to each other. Nathan's covered a couple other things about this, but Lift the Veil is on this link on Media Matters, and they're freaked out because they've called into question this place called VooDoo Doughnuts. So I guess before I go any further, there's some more stuff I want to talk about here. I really want to talk about Macaulay Culkin and Seth Green, excuse me. So Seth Green and Macaulay Culkin are best friends. Some of you, I didn't know that. I mean, I imagine most people don't know that. Seth Green and McCulkin, I'm calling him McCulkin from now on. Seth Green and McCulkin are best buddies, going back like a decade, maybe more. And Seth Green makes this show called Robot Chicken. And if you've been involved in the pedophilia conversation, if you were part of the Pizzagate conversation, you know that the FBI, the Manual on Pedophiles, designates chicken as a small boy. Child. And robot, everybody knows what a robot is. It's a programmable automated device, essentially. So this show, called Robot Chicken, put that into context now. This is the kind of content that Seth Green creates. So this is a pedophile-based storyline. It's about 52 seconds long, and it's about a unicorn stealing the clothes of small children who are skinny dipping, and then telling the children to come find him. You can come watch this on your own. I didn't really think it was that big of a deal. But Robot Chicken, Seth Green's show, is carried by Adult Swim. See this right here, Adult Swim? And Adult Swim is the Cartoon Network production feeder crew that makes all the pedophile cartoons that you see on TV. So they're the ones that hired Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland to take their pedophile ideas and their pedophile-based cartoon characters and create Rick and Morty. So Adult Swim, pedophilia cartoons, they hire Seth Green to make Robot Chicken, which I've just told you about. Okay, now the guy I told you earlier that Lift the Veil was talking to kind of early in this process, this guy's name is Isaac Kappy, and most of you know him already. And now Isaac Kappy made some very, very direct accusations for people in Hollywood, including Steven Spielberg, his friends Seth Green and Clare Grant. So these, Clare Grant, Seth Green, and Isaac Kappy were friends. They were all part of the same group. They hung out on game night. Isaac Kappy has hung out with McCulkin. Now, Clare Grant, she's kind of new to this conversation. I haven't mentioned her yet, but that Clare Grant is Seth Green's girlfriend. There's a picture of Seth Green and there's Isaac Kappy down here. So you can come check these out. These people know each other, all right? Now, what's interesting, this is the interesting part. Isaac Kappy went on Periscope and made some accusations, specifically directed at Seth Green and Clare Grant. Immediately, they did not challenge that. So let me show you this. So Seth Green, instead of challenging it and saying, look, Isaac Kappy is making this up, he's disgruntled, yada, 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 instead of coming up with something, some excuse, right? They didn't do anything. They went dark, like out. So Seth Green locked down his Twitter account, Seth Green locked down his Instagram account, and Seth Green locked down his Facebook account. Okay, now that's his girlfriend, Clare Grant. Clare Grant also locked down all her social media. Quick, because they realized that now that they got some eyes on them, people are going to start looking through what they posted. So right around this time, you got the mainstream media. I've seen 20 articles, at least 20 articles in the last week and a half, telling people to delete their text messages. And it's coming from places like the Washington Post, the New York Times, Gizmodo. All these places, anything that has anything to do with tech is telling everybody to delete all their tweets. And they give them instructions, on how to do that. So I think that's what was happening. I think there was a lot of stuff out there. That's why they locked down real quick. I'm gonna play this. I'm just gonna show you this. This is Clare Grant. She wanted to pitch this as a new show called The Sexy Nightmare Slayers by Team Unicorn. Remember that unicorn I showed you over here in that other video just a second ago? How the unicorn stole those kids' clothes? And how a guy that animated for a show called My Little Pony, right, was consuming child porn? It's all linked together. So I'll just let this go. Watch this. She picks the kid up. Kid grabs her ass, right? But those are adult hands. I think they couldn't get away with it. Now kid's going to grab her boobs and grope her. And they think it's funny. This is the funniest. That right there, that. Okay, that's the funniest part of the whole bit. They slip in some bad, perverted jokes here at the end, which I don't really care about the jokes, man. I just care about all the pedophile stuff. You can say jokes, but here's the thing. Dave Chappelle doesn't talk about pedophiles. He doesn't make pedophiles out to be the heroes in his jokes, and neither did anybody else that has ever been famous for telling a joke. So think of it what you will. I'm not against comedy. I am against pedophilia. All right, so now I'd like to transition and tell you about some Macaulay Culkin connections here. Like I said, Seth Green and McCulkin are best buds and have been for a long time. So they were in this movie called Party Monster back in 2003, and this was McCulkin's first film in nearly 9 years. So he came out of the woodwork to do this film. I don't know why, because they got a terrible budget and it went nowhere. So they got a $5 million budget. They didn't recoup any of it. Right? Made less than $1 million at the box office. Now the crazy part is this is the cover. So let me just zoom in and get this in there. Party Monster, good, evil, fun. And she's got a fork full of something and blood on her face. Oh look, it's Macaulay's brain. I don't know. And look at that. Lo and behold, we have another chicken. I don't. Why? What is up with the chicken stuff? If it's not about the boy love stuff, then what is it? Okay, here's where it gets good, right? So this is after. Okay, Isaac Kappy made a Periscope and he said some stuff. Okay, he said some stuff. Like within a day or two, Seth Green, Clare Grant, and Paris Jackson and everybody else all locked down, right? And then they went on TMZ and started accusing him of doing stuff. And this is all big character assassination. This is just trying to paint Kappy as somebody unreliable. I don't know who this person is, but her name is Paris Jackson. And that kind of struck me weird. I was like, Jackson, Paris Jackson. Like Michael Jackson, maybe? Because not a lot of people remember this, but McCulkin and Michael Jackson were best buds. They were buddied up there for a while. And McCulkin was a child actor, and everybody said Michael Jackson was a pedophile. So is that Michael Jackson's daughter? I don't know. So I confirmed it. Yes, Paris Jackson is the second child and only daughter of Michael Jackson and Debbie Rowe. So Michael Jackson's daughter, okay, is hanging out with Seth Green and Clare Grant and McCulkin. I mean, this is weird stuff, right? Okay, so here's a picture. I've covered this before. There's this thing called the Bunny Ears Podcast, and this popped up after the Pizzagate stuff. So this idiot right here, this McCulkin fella, has got a band called Pizza Underground for Pizzagate, and now he's got a Bunny Ears Podcast for Follow the White Rabbit. I just find it awkward and weird. So just to show you, here's a picture of Seth Green and McCulkin, and I don't know who these other two idiots are. I think this might be the guy on the podcast, the Bunny Ears Podcast. Here is the podcast, I guess, the YouTube channel. It's called Bunny Ears. They wrote an intro song, and the intro song is these two lines: "Bind me, gag me, take me to the bunny ranch, people dying, kill me in the packing house." What do you think? Okay, so this girl does a really good job of putting this all together. This is from March 2018. This is just about 4 or 5 months ago. So it says, McCulkin was blacklisted from Hollywood. Maybe he quit and generally remained very low-key, doing indie cult classics like Saved and Party Monster. So he was doing bad, right? Now he looks pretty healthy. I don't know if he got off drugs, but here they are. Since 2016, it looks like he's gotten clean and has been backpacking around Europe, dating former Disney child star Brenda Song. Former Disney child star Brenda Song. And hanging out with his goddaughter, Paris Jackson. So McCulkin is Paris Jackson's godfather. I guess that's because of his interactions or relationship with Michael Jackson. I guess that's how that works. But see Seth Green back there in the back? That's Seth Green. So these guys are real close. There they are again. Paris Jackson and her godfather, McCulkin. And, here he is on TV talking about conspiracy theories, lifestyle parody channel called Bunny Ears. And then here's the thing that I was telling you about the theme song lyrics. But they took the video down. So, good way to cover up the tracks there. All right. So this is McCulkin's Instagram page for Bunny Ears Podcast. One of the first... Okay, they just uploaded these real quick to get initial content up. This was the first actual content they uploaded. Seriously. Jodie Foster as a child. That might bring back some memories for people in Hollywood, if you know what I'm saying. He's involved with Kevin Smith. Here's some pizza-related bunny ears. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff on this Instagram. I can't believe they just leave it out in the open like this. More pizza. Look, pizza, bunny ears. Pizza, bunny ears. Pizza. Pizzagate, follow the white rabbit. Pizzagate, follow the white rabbit. Over and over. I already showed you this. They made a Baphomet t-shirt. Upside pentagram. They're satanic. They're totally satanic. And here he is talking about all the good stuff. Illuminati, aliens, Pizzagate. Truthers, quote, truthers. See how truthers is the only thing in quotes right there? Everything else is real. Everything else is real, except for the truthers that he put in quotes. I can already tell I'm going to run out of time. I'm going to have to cut a second piece for this. I wanted to show you some stuff. There's some sick stuff on here. Okay, let me go to the top real quick. I got to glaze over this. This is the last thing that got uploaded. Right? More of the same, more of the same, more of the same. Okay. Real quick. This is VooDoo Doughnuts. Okay? They're satanic. They make satanic-based, pedophilic donuts, I guess. And they're in Portland. That's where they started. So here they are making the world's largest box of donuts. It weighs exactly 666 pounds. And they are excited about that. Now, you can come over here to the VooDoo Doughnuts, hashtag VooDoo Doughnuts on Twitter if you want to see all this pedophile stuff. Like, people actually spell it out in infographics for you. I don't want to waste your time. I got something else I want to show you last. All right, so a week after this blew up, Joe Rogan invited McCulkin onto his show for no reason out of the blue. No one has a clue who this guy is, right? There's nothing interesting about him, and he didn't ask him a single question about anything relevant that's going on right now. So I don't know if Joe's part of the problem or not. I've already covered it in the past. So odd timing, right? Just about an hour ago, they uploaded this to the Bunny Ears podcast, talking about VooDoo Doughnuts that they visited in Colorado. I'll cut a second part. Until next time, this is Bill Smith. Thanks for watching.